This is the Paul Has Fun podcast, and this is a movie review with spoilers. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, released September the 6th. Jason G and I saw it September the 5th at the AMC. We're going to go ahead and cover that in a moment. But before we get into the review, first wanted to talk about the box office. And this is the reason why I kind of hold back on doing the review right after the movie releases, because we just want to see how the movie is doing box office-wise. Now, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, the budget for the movie was $99 million. Of course, with the marketing, we always have to double that budget. So let's say the movie was made for $200 million. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking. Well, to date, and I'm recording this November the 15th, 2024, worldwide, the movie's made $451 million worldwide. So it's made its money back plus some. And interestingly, the movie made more domestically, the majority of its box office, which comes out to about $294 million rounded off, as opposed to internationally, where it just made $157 million. And I find that interesting because a lot of times movies, they do better internationally, and domestically they have a run, but they do better internationally. But it's the reverse on this one. Now let's go ahead and get right into the review.
So you're saying that someone called Beetlejuice?
Don't say his name. If you say his name 3 times, he will appear.
I know this is a big step for you, but in the words of Dr. Glickman, I'm going to give you the push you need. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Is that
Beetlejuice.
First of all, I want you two kids to know this is a safe space, okay? Feel free to express yourselves. Don't be afraid. I sense there's an enabler here, but we'll get to that.
You're a figment of my imagination.
Really? Is this a figment of your imagination?
Hey everybody, this is Jason G and Paul P, PvP in the house on 42nd Street, AMC Empire, 40 Deuce in effect, y'all. Starting us off this time, we just saw Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Opening night, actually the night before opening night, Thursday, September 4th. No, 5th.
September the 5th, yeah.
September the 5th.
Like a release date's the 6th, so thankfully we often get to see it the day before.
In IMAX.
In IMAX.
It was the fake IMAX. It wasn't like the super duper IMAX.
Which is the real IMAX.
On 68th and Broadway.
There you go. There you go.
With the 4-story or 5-story screen. This is still bigger than a normal theater, so it's still better. Yes, it's good quality picture, good quality sound. It's just a little smaller than the actual IMAX on like 68th and Broadway, which is a really big one. Yeah, we had good seats, 5th row, and it was like
E, so A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, you're right. 5th row.
And you know, no neck busting seats where we have to bend up.
When you said that out loud, neck busting.
Because we don't want the neck
Yeah,
to
but
get...
these newer theaters, they don't really have neck busting seats, because even if you
And
sit in the front.
then they have the seats that go all the way up to the back of
we
your
had
head.
the recliner type seats, so
Right.
The seats, they were very comfortable.
Because, you know, old school, when we were growing up in like the 80s, right? The seats went
Those are just
to the
wooden,
middle of your
metal.
back.
Oh, they were terrible.
And then you can't like rest your head anywhere. So you got to sit like kind of bit back so you don't like strain your neck and stuff.
But now you can sit in the front row and get it. Great pictures
Very good
still.
stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, so anyway, we saw Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, the newest of the Tim Burton movies, and it's been a while. I think I saw the original when it first came out right on 42nd Street at the Cineplex Odeon Warner Theater between 42nd and 43rd Street, right on the 7th Avenue over there.
I saw it as a kid with my family, because we were all out, and like we did that as a family thing together. I can't remember, it was like 84th Street that we saw it. Or,
Lowe's 84?
Yeah, we saw it.
Nice.
I forget the theater we saw it at, but it wasn't, I'm pretty sure it was a holiday weekend when that first one came out. Because that's the only time we would really kind of get together to go do stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that generally the reviews weren't so good. I think now if you look, like the reviews gotten better because people, you know, I think changed their minds a little bit. But when it first came out, I remember the original Beetlejuice did not get all that great reviews. But I remember my friend and I Tom saw it, with my high school buddy Tom, and we loved it. We had a blast. And we're like,
It
this
was
is
so
great.
much fun,
And this is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo, this movie's going to do well, man. And of course, it did so well.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. You know, missing this time was Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, you know, because they were in the original one. But they were like almost unknowns back there, especially Alec
They
Baldwin.
were mentioned in this one.
They were
the
mentioned. They were
maintenance,
mentioned.
Yeah.
But Alec Baldwin, if you go back to see the original Beetlejuice movie, he doesn't even look like him because he's
a
like
lot- he's a lot
skinnier and he has
skinnier, yeah.
glasses. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's on HBO Max now. If you check
Warner
out the
Brothers property, yeah.
check out the original. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, this is a great movie. I really enjoyed it.
Moving forward, what we'll do, as long as my friends agree here, we like to do a little quick impressions video and put that up online. And then this
Just like a minute
follows-
long.
Exactly, which is like a minute long, and then the podcast itself. It takes me time to edit it and stuff, so because it's just me doing the editing. That normally comes out a month later, but I like to add the little caveat of having the box office at that time.
Yeah, yeah,
like with
absolutely.
The Deadpool Wolverine review just came out. That's like 6 weeks after the release. And box office wise, it's like the second highest domestic box office, money maker in the United States. Like I said, domestic so far, right behind Inside Out. Like it's over $1 billion too. So,
Which wouldn't the
Deadpool Wolverine.
Deadpool Wolverine?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just crazy.
It's doing very well.
Yeah, just wrapping this little bit up. Yeah, we're gonna do these social media kind of initial impressions. That's what that video is. But,
Right. So as I said in that, I, believe it or not, like this better than the original Beetlejuice. See, for me, it's all about story. I love a good story, and the script is pretty good in there. They have because the original one has really not a deep. It's a very, very simple story. It's fun. And the production design and all the stuff that's happening, it's great, But I like this story a lot. How they intertwine Winona Ryder's character, her new boyfriend that wants to marry her, Jenny Ortega's character, who's Winona Ryder's daughter, who has long lost father, is like who knows where he is. And it was very well done. I thought the story was great, and I actually liked it better than the original Beetlejuice. Believe it or not. And as I said that thing, I like the Top Gun Maverick better than Top Gun. I liked the Alien Romulus, the best sequel since Aliens, and this, So sequels have been very good to us recently. What are your thoughts, Paul?
And also, you're talking. Just wanted to add on to your point, or what you think. I wanted to hear, like, how do you think, like, Furiosa was like a sequel, in a kind of sort of way, maybe a prequel to Mad Max? Like, how did you feel? I mean, I know how you felt because we saw it together. And
Yeah.
Just to remind folks, what are your thoughts on
No,
Furiosa?
I mean,
Because that's a sequel.
Mad Max
prequel kind of.
It wasn't better than Mad Max Fury Road, but I liked it a lot. Furiosa's great. I liked it better than Beyond Thunderdome. Mad Max original and Road Warrior, maybe, I don't know. I have to watch Road Warrior again because I haven't seen that recently. But yeah, I would say Fury Road is the best, and then Mad Max, the original, is next, and then maybe Furiosa. But I have to watch Road Warrior again because I haven't seen. Maybe Road Warrior is better because that was a classic.
Which I think it's on Max.
Yeah, they're all
now.
on Max now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's Furiosa, yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, like you got to give it to him. He's great. But anyway, Tim Burton. And another thing, this is like I think one of my favorite Tim Burton movies in a long time. Like
Yeah, he's been.
because he's a hit or miss.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like he can be very hit or miss. Like he can hit it like so hard, and then like he can have a bunch of misses.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, one of my last favorite ones that he did was Big Fish. I love Big Fish.
That was very good. Yeah.
Yeah. But then
Very
he made
good.
Dumbo, and I didn't even see Dumbo.
No, I did see that. Yeah, it was like it was well done, but it was just it wasn't like wow, right? It was just, but yeah, visually it was great though. Just watch it for the visuals. It's still enjoyable,
You know what I was just like having this conversation was making me think, and I feel like that from the energy of the fans, even in our theater, and I always like to report this too. Like, how full was our theater? And our theater was pretty full.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was the rows, and we were like, if it's the 5 rows up, and the rows in front of us, they were kind of empty. But when you look behind us, it beautiful.
I think
Yeah.
95%.
And people were like clapping
Behind us, you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And people were like clapping. They were like, excited. And it just makes me think, because I have my first girlfriend that I lost my virginity to, at the true story. Like, she as well was very influenced by Tim Burton and his initial those starting movies like Nightmare Before Christmas. Like Beetlejuice,
right.
like Edward Scissorhands. I don't know what magic that he has sometimes with some of the movies that really hit, but it really, like people like base, like kind of almost like their style. It plays to some kind of sensibility that his movies have. Like it's kind of like this goth feeling, but then there's like some sincerity underneath.
Right.
And,
yes.
And that stayed with a lot of people for many, many years. Where the energy for this movie, and you kind of hear it from the scuttlebutt from like people online and stuff, was like they were really looking forward to this movie because it's just like something that they really identify with was coming back. For you and me,
absolutely,
with all these like nostalgia plays that we've been getting for the last few years,
right.
We love this stuff because we like that stuff, like a Fury Road, or like a Spider-Man movie, or all these like plays from back in the day.
Yes.
So I just wanted to note that, you know what I'm saying? In terms of,
sure.
Like I said, when this man hits this director, he really is like so influential. You could definitely put him in a very like influential category. When he doesn't hit, then it's like very, and nobody can get it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Now my thoughts on this movie. Initially, it was just kind of like a series of events, and I was just kind of okay. I was there for the ride. The movie picks up when Beetlejuice and Lydia Dietz meet up for the first time. When they meet up, then I just felt transported back to the original Beetlejuice. And
yes.
From there, it's like this slapstick comedy adventure.
Right.
The thing I mentioned in the video that we put together was like, we don't have movies like this anymore.
Right, yes.
Like, it's just another teen comedy, or like just kind of like one joke after another joke. And I kind of miss that.
Yes.
I got that in this movie.
Right, sure.
So I really,
and then we get silly comedy. Michael Keaton again, because a lot recently we haven't had that, and he looks great because the original Beetlejuice, he's in all white makeup with black eyes, right?
Yeah.
And this the same, so you can't tell he's like ageless, right? It's perfect.
Yes.
It's perfect.
His performance is great.
His performance is great.
Taking a quick pause for the cause and just wanted to ask for your support. If you're enjoying this podcast or have enjoyed any of the content that I put out, please support this podcast by doing any or all of your Amazon shopping by clicking the link in the magical unicorn-like show notes. And also, you can donate as well. Leave a link where you can donate through the Cash App, PayPal, or through Zelle. This podcast is not free to do. I love doing it, and I love bringing it to you. But some notes of appreciation, i.e. dollars, would be greatly, greatly desired and appreciated on my end. So let's go ahead and get back into the episode. Once again, I leave all those links in the fantastical, once in a lifetime, absolutely stupendous show notes. And you can find those on whatever media player that you're listening on. Let's do this. Let's go back into it.
Here's a preview. Be warned, it's intense.
I can't believe Grandpa's dead.
Death is hard.
Yeah, sometimes I think life is harder.
When I was a teenager, a trickster demon terrorized our entire family and tried to force me to marry him. I believed he was gone forever until you found this in the attic.
Ew. Who's Beetlejuice?
Don't ever say that name.
Beetlejuice.
No, Astrid! I am serious. If you say his name 3 times, he will appear.
Beetlejuice.
The juice is loose.
The beginning of the movie was kind of like okay for me until Lydia Dietz and Beetlejuice meet up. But the person who stole the movie up to that point was Catherine O'Hara.
I was just about to say,
Yes,
I was about to say, in the first Beetlejuice movie, she's okay, but she's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And this is just the same in like Home Alone, right? Isn't she the mother
Yeah,
in Home
but then-
Alone? But in this, I think this is the best role I've liked her. Like, I always thought she was kind of annoying.
No,
and in
she's
here,
great.
she's great. I loved
she-
her in here.
I saw all of Schitt's Creek, and she was like a big star. In
Oh,
that,
right,
and
right.
she was fantastic. In
I've
that.
seen some of that. Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like,
She's very
she
good.
is great in this.
Yeah,
Like she's so funny in this. You know?
Yeah, I think it's her best movie role ever. I don't know. I mean,
she was so good. And Winona
and she
Ryder,
looks good.
She looks great.
Like how many
Yeah, she
years
looks-
later?
that's like
And
almost
she looks
20,
really good.
She looks good. Winona Ryder looks good.
Yes, yes.
Jenna Ortega, her performance as Astrid is not the same level as her performance in Wednesday.
In Wednesday, because
which,
she
she was really good.
unbelievable,
in Wednesday.
yeah.
But she's playing a different character because she's not playing Wednesday. in
No,
this movie,
no.
Right. But I just like she annoyed me a little bit because she was so gullible with this kid and like ready to kiss
Right,
and
right.
do all this stuff. So that kind of annoyed me. That was like the one of the sticking points.
Because she was skeptical of everything up until then, right?
Yeah, and then she was like so ready to go with this kid.
With this kid, right.
Well, I didn't even think of what you just said. You're right. Like she's so skeptical about ghosts and this and that. But then when this boy arrives, maybe she's boy crazy.
Maybe.
And she's just like,
and
oh yeah, whatever you want.
Well,
to
he
do.
was, you know, he did have the charm. Like you
Yeah.
really fell for him. You thought he was a good guy, and then, hey, this is
No, the
maybe-
actor that they picked is very, very like sincere.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
right.
And then he's lying, which is great.
So he's perfect,
twist,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So the movie picks up when Lydia and I'm giving like everything that my pros and cons. Picks up when Lydia and Beetlejuice meet, and then from there it's just like a fun roller coaster ride.
Yes.
And I like that it didn't have to be 2+ hours like in the majority.
Right.
Of movies
How
are.
long was this?
It's 1:44.
Oh, perfect. It's
yeah,
perfect.
and it's quick and
Yeah,
moves
it doesn't have to be
fast.
2 hours
No.
and 20 minutes. Or no.
Yeah, Justin Theroux is very funny in this. Initially, he was kind of not funny and kind of annoying.
Annoying, yeah.
But then he grows to be kind of funny.
Yes,
and-
yes.
and
Yeah,
then-
right. When he goes down into the Beetlejuice world,
Yeah.
and then now he's like scared, and then he's running away. He's funny.
Oh, he's great. Yeah. When he's basically playing like a little bit of a chicken shit.
Right, that's
He's
good.
great.
That's
Yeah,
worked
yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know? But Winona Ryder, she is Lydia Dietz. Like I cannot
All right.
picture anybody else playing
yeah.
in this role. You know,
Like her big comeback recently was her role in Stranger Things.
which she was great in that. You know?
But now, like this seals the deal. She's just like, yeah, she's now going to be A-list again. I mean, I don't know if she's going
I
to
don't
take
see-
all these different roles,
but she
like,
was fantastic.
but she's very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's-
and
like I said-
I mean, she made this role. She was young.
Exactly.
and
And she has such a stamp on this role. Also, we'll mention that with Jeffrey Jones in a moment. But she has such a stamp on this role. Like I can never see anybody else playing.
Yeah,
Lydia Dietz,
right,
you know?
right, sure.
And Jeffrey Jones, who I didn't know until you told me, because when we were growing up, he's the guy who plays the father. He was like in some big movies.
Yeah, he was the principal in
And
Ferris
Ferris-
Bueller's,
exactly.
which was an unbelievable, like iconic role. Right?
And exactly, he was in the movie a lot too.
Yeah.
You know, because he was like the one chasing Ferris Bueller.
Sure,
right?
of course.
But then, like, I didn't know you knew, and you mentioned that, like, he was arrested for sex offender charges, which he pled guilty to.
So, yeah.
And you haven't. Like, we were assuming that he was blacklisted, and
Right.
his image and likeness are used in this movie. There's this great animated scene, like this puppet-looking scene, where it explains what happens to him.
Right.
Which
It's
I
like
thought was
claymation,
super-
and-
yeah,
and then he-
which is so cool. Yeah.
And then
I
the rest
love
of the
that.
movie,
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
like, a shark like bit his head off, right?
Yeah.
Like he survived the airplane crash.
Yeah.
And then
Only
he
to
just-
have a shark. And
Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara explaining this was ridiculous too.
Yes, that was funny.
But this movie was a lot of fun. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but it's a great compliment to the first one. It really fits it like a glove. You know?
Very, very well.
yeah.
Very well. I'm like I said, very pleasantly surprised. I did not expect to be as happy in this, watching this movie as I was. You know, Tim Burton, with some of his movies, he's just going through the steps and he's doing his thing. And then, the production design is great. And you have like a little blah there and here. And then, but here is like, there was a lot of cool things to it that I was surprised. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Well, by the way, what are your favorite Tim Burton movies of all?
I mean, I mentioned some of them. I mean, I think I like the ones that everybody else likes. I like Big Fish. I like Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands.
I like Mark Wahlberg's Planet of the Apes, even though a lot of people don't like it.
No, I liked it. Yeah, it was good.
I like that movie.
And a great ending.
Yeah, I really, really like that movie. And I remember Before Christmas. It is a classic as well.
Oh yeah. Which, by the way, he didn't direct, but he was. He
I didn't know that.
He created the image.
The world,
I think he
kind of,
created the world. He produced it.
Yeah.
But he hired this like stop motion animation director.
I did not know that.
Because I think Tim Burton is not a stop motion animated director, so he just got his friend or whatever.
Yeah.
I think he's the same director who, like, if you see his name, he's not like well known like Tim Burton's name, but he did the recent Halloween movie that's stop motion animation on Netflix or one of those streaming services?
You gotta send it to me. This text it to me and I could check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Corpse Bride was
Corpse Bride.
cool. He's made a lot
Frank
of fun
and Weenie.
movies. Yeah, I never saw Frank and Weenie. He's definitely gonna go down as a very super influential director in Hollywood.
And
I
then
mean, that's given.
And then has he made every single movie he's made was for Warner Brothers? I think
that I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I think almost all of them.
Yeah, speaking of which, I never caught this in the first movie, but having seen Dune this year, and then he has sandworms in this one,
right,
and it has a sandworm scene that's very similar to Dune too. And
but they were in the first one.
They were, but
a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know why. Just now sandworm,
right.
And they're both Warner Brothers properties.
That's so true.
Speaking to you now, it's making me enjoy the movie more. I'll be honest with you. It didn't always make me laugh, and I think some of the jokes didn't hit, but that third act.
It was great.
So
it was
fun,
great, yeah.
And even they had a musical number in this one. I don't think it'll be as memorable as Deo, like from the first movie.
Right.
But it was still a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Do you have any more thoughts before we give a score?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up. All. Yeah.
What is your score? 1 out of 10. 1 being sucks.
I would
10
say
being incredible.
8.6.
8.6?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna go with the reviews that I saw. I try not to ever hear or read entire reviews before, but I always see the numbers, right?
Right.
And the numbers for this movie were like at a 7. And now us talking about it, for me, this one was like a 7.5. I think that Jenna Ortega's character, it was a little bit annoying, like so gullible, but like I said, it could be explained to being boy crazy. And also, I just think that some of the jokes didn't hit for me. I found myself forcing myself to like it sometimes, and that's on me. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would say a 7.5 because this was enjoyable, and I want to watch this again. I wouldn't watch this again in theaters. I'll wait until it comes on HBO Max, but I'm definitely gonna watch this again.
You could watch them both together.
I want to watch them both together.
Yeah,
actually, that's exactly what I want to do.
And then
it was with 8.6.
Yeah, 8.6. As I mentioned before we saw the movie on Rotten Tomatoes, I checked just before we saw. And it was, I think, 175 reviews, which is a lot.
That's a lot of reviews.
And it was 77%. So, I leaned over and I was like, this is probably going to be good because look at that score.
Exactly.
And they were pretty much right. Yeah.
I agree with you.
I think it's going to do well. I think the word of mouth is going to go around. It's going to be, I think, last almost or all the way to Halloween.
That's what you mentioned.
I mentioned that it may have come out a little too early, but.
Yeah, because it's the beginning of September, and Halloween is still like 8-9 weeks away. But I've told you that there really is not a lot this year. And I mean, we're definitely still recovering from the strikes in terms of production, because the rest of this year is looking pretty empty. It really is. Like, I mean, big ones are like Joker. Transformers comes out next week. I say, hey, let's see that if you're interested. And that's about it. And Craven, I think, comes out this year. Craven comes out this year. But besides that, is the award stuff, which I don't really. Sometimes I just wait till the end of the year. But like in terms of stuff we like, we've seen a lot of it already.
Right.
For this year.
Right. Okay.
And
sure.
Next year is a different story. Yeah.
Then things get back to the normal cycle of things, right? Because that'll be like after the effects of the strikes and stuff. Right?
Exactly. Already for next year we got Captain America, so.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
in February, March.
It's February.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Who else knows
hopefully
what's gonna come out? But that's gonna be good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good, man.
Let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up. All right. So go see Beetlejuice, and don't say his name 3 times in a row.
No. And the final thing is, we've been fascinated by these promotional things that they've been making, like these popcorn buckets and stuff.
Yes.
And you pointed out to me they have a tin of the book of the recently deceased, which is super cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what exactly it's for, but I guess you could just put stuff in it.
Yeah, which is
I don't think it's
really
for
cool.
popcorn. I mean,
no. I don't think it could fit a lot of popcorn.
Yeah, no. But yeah, that's cool. It seems like nowadays, when you go to AMC and you're waiting online for the popcorn or whatever, the concession stand, there's a lot of stuff they're trying to sell, which hopefully they'll keep coming out with cool stuff.
Yeah, which is fun. I think
it's a lot of fun. Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's really on them. They could make money if they make good stuff.
I wonder if it's AMC making these, or is it the the movie company making these.
I wonder, or
There's marketing,
or
there's
a
merchandise.
combination of both. I mean, there's,
Yeah.
you know, in Japan, which, as you know, I try to visit at least once a year, but almost every movie theater in all across Japan has a little gift shop, and for every single release, they have
I
like
love that.
programs, they have like keychains, they have this and that
love
and that,
that. I love
and
that.
it's so cool. So whenever I go, I try to go to, even if I go and see a movie, I'll go to the lobby and say, "Can I just see the gift shop?" And then if there's anything that's cool, I try to get it. You know?
That's cool.
And some stuff is really nice. You know,
Yeah.
I wish they would do that here. You know, when I was growing up, they used to sell programs of Star Wars, you know, Superman, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Return of the Jedi, and I still have a few of those, but they don't do that anymore. They don't
That's
like
unfortunate, yeah.
programs sell them for like $5-10, and then you have photos and making of stuff,
Yeah.
and you know, definitely. You know, all these people now go into Comic Cons. Like, I'm sure there's a market
get
for that.
stuff like that,
Like, and
yeah.
how much does it cost to print one of these out? You know, and,
I mean, sometimes we get posters, but that's very few and far between. You know what
which
I
we
mean?
didn't get one tonight. I wonder why.
Yeah.
They should do that for this.
They should. They should.
This is a big release, and it's a Thursday night opening before, so
And there were a lot of people here for it.
yeah, we should have gotten one. Anyway, sounds good, man. All right.
Wrapping it up, Jason, thank you again. Thank you for starting us off. Thank you for the great seats. Thank you for recording. This is the Paul Has Fun podcast, and we are out.
Boom.
Beetlejuice.